Hey you guys, today we're doing Japchae. This is a Korean dish that I first learned from Dada Shabu Shabu in Irvine. It was so good. This is just a little bit of the ingredients. I will put it in the description, but those right there are the star. That is sweet potato glass noodles. Ooh, I mean, I just gotta have it with those, okay? So if you got a local Asian market, get it from there. That is some spinach with I like the long stem on there. I'm gonna keep it on there. So I just cut the very bottom, then we'll soak it in some water, okay, to get that dirt off. That's some rice. I was making some fried rice, and now I'm gonna add that. I don't know exactly how to say it, but we just want to eat good. So we're gonna take some pork chops. Okay, you can usually use pork shoulder, but I got these pork chops. They're pretty cheap at my local Asian market. So I'm gonna cut them in strips because we're going to marinate these delicious pieces. I believe the original recipe has beef, but I'm cutting beef out. So pork ain't no better, but beef, my body has been reacting to beef negatively. So I'm working through it. I'm gonna have to let pork go too, but we are going to chop some garlic, and this garlic will go into our pork. Now that's a sauce that has a sweet soy sauce, sugar, pepper, and sesame oil. So we're gonna add some of that chopped garlic in there and set that aside, okay? Now I'm adding some sweet soy sauce, some sesame oil, and some sugar to those pork strips, and a little bit of black pepper. And then we're going to mix this with our hand and set this aside and let that just chill and marinate. Now, typically you would add shiitake mushrooms, but I'm adding, well, you know what? Honestly, I think the wood ears are the original, but you can add shiitake, but I wanted to keep it as close to original as possible. So you have to clean these. So I'm gonna just kind of switch them around, let them soak a little bit in water. And make sure these are wonderfully clean. After you get them in the water, you're going to put them on a paper towel. And you're going to, towel dry them to get all that excess water off. Now, these have a little hard base on them, okay? And you need to cut that off. So I'm going to show you that little base. You can't really see it right there. Maybe the next one will be a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can see that little piece. It's hard, okay? That's the base, it grows from however they grow it. But you don't want to eat that. You want to cut those off of all your wood ear mushrooms. And then after, you want to make sure that they're dried thoroughly. I'm going to set these aside, okay? You can add it to the pork to let it marinate. I just set it aside because, I'm new to this recipe. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm just, being careful as far as cross-contamination, things like that. So I just try to take extra precautions. But I mixed up the sauce, and now I'm getting a bowl of cold water because we are going to blanch the spinach, I believe, for about 2 minutes. So you want to leave a little crunchy to that stem, but this is salted water. So now I am going to remove this from the hot water and place it in that cold bath just to stop the cooking process. And then we are going to squeeze that water off. We want this as dry as we can get it because it's going in that japchae and we don't want it soupy, okay? So now we are going to take that spinach, and I'm just going to cut it in 3 sections. I didn't want it too small. I wanted the spinach to be prevalent. I don't want it to look like it might be parsley. I want you to know it's spinach, okay? So I'm going to squeeze it off a little more because it had a little more water than I liked, and that's perfect. So we will set this spinach in a bowl and add some sweet soy sauce and sesame. You see, that is the base. So you're cooking every ingredient of this, and then you're bringing it together. So it's seasoned. So now we're gonna cook our sweet potato glass noodles. That's the same water that I blanched the spinach in. I think this cooks for, you want to stir it first, and I believe from what I remember, it cooks for 7 minutes, 7-8 minutes. So stir it to make sure it doesn't stick, and then you're going to place a top over the pot so that can sit and steep and cook. Now I'm just gonna chop my aromatics. You know I love my onion, so I'm gonna slice the onion. I'm adding half of a medium size of onion. White, brown, you know, just add onion, you know. And this recipe does have green onion. I did not have green onion, but it was still really, really good, y'all. So I freeze my bell peppers. I cut them in strips or chop them, and then I freeze them. So I'm just taking red bell pepper, and my knife is gonna look really dope because my daughter scrubbed the heck out of my knife, and now I need a sharpener. So I'm upset because that is I think it's called Whisk knife, and it was like $200 just for that knife. So now I got to figure out how to get my knife sharp again. So anyway, we cut those strips, and then our glass noodles are done. We are going to drain the beautiful, look at those beauties. Gonna drain those, get that water off. You don't want to keep none of that. Then you will put it back in the bowl, and then we are going to add, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm sorry. We're gonna cut them. Now if it's too hot to hold, you just cut it in a bowl. And then we're going to add that really, really good sesame. Get you some good sesame. Spend a little money on your sesame oil, trust me. And I'm gonna add sweet soy sauce, or you can add regular soy sauce. I've just been addicted to sweet soy sauce lately. So we're gonna set that aside, and now we're gonna do the egg yolk. Now these are thin egg yolk strips that will go as a garnish. So you just take one egg yolk, remove those little white, little white pieces that be on the egg. You don't want that. Remove that. So I had a little egg yolk in the pan. Little egg white in the pan if you see that little white spot. But anyway, you want to remove that, and then you want to whisk, and then you want to put it in the pan and kind of like circle it around to make that as flat as possible. Turn your fire off. Let that cook from the residual heat. Flip it over. And that's simple. That's all you need. Okay, so now we're going to roll this up, and then we're going to slice it. So we're making like some julienne egg. Okay, and I wasn't gonna do the egg at first, but it was like really a great addition, and I believe that egg is the original recipe. But it's not, you don't have to add, like, you can recipes you can make, kind of like do it how you kind of want. You keep it close to it, and you can do it how you want. You're eating it, you know what I mean? So we're gonna take that onion, and we're going to cook it to right when it's turning translucent, because we want like a little bite. Okay, we don't want it to be completely cooked. So we're gonna add that to our noodles. So that's what we'll be doing now, is cooking all the ingredient and the additions to the japchae, and just slightly. We don't want it like to cook too hard, so I'm adding some shredded carrots. Then I'm gonna add the red bell pepper to that. Add it a little later because they were frozen, so they're softened. So I don't want them to be too much more softened. So we're going to saute that and add that to our noodles. The baby's in the background. If y'all hear the babies, they're in the background. They're listening to Yo Gabba Gabba. So we are going to now cook our marinated pork. Oh, he is going in, y'all. But and then we'll add the wood ear mushrooms. If you have shiitake, you add that to the pork. Or you can use both, but I wanted wood ear because shabu shabu had wood ear only in there. So I'm gonna cook the pork until it is ready, and add that to our noodles. And then we're going to complete this recipe by adding that delicious seasoned spinach. Then that is that sauce that I mixed earlier. Okay, add that as well. We are going to mix this. I didn't have no tongs. I didn't have a spaghetti spoon, so I just used my scraper to mix it. So it made it a little difficult, but it mixed it. At the end of the day, it worked. You could use your hand. That also works very, very well. But I didn't want to put that in the video, y'all. So Just use a scraper. Then you're gonna garnish with that egg. Okay, I could have put it in a nice little bowl, but I was like so excited about this, so I was like, whatever. Then you put some sesame seeds on top, and there you go, y'all. Y'all. Okay, look. Try use some stuff that's different. Okay, there's so much out there in the world for us to eat and explore, and so many different tastes. And oh my goodness, they call this umami, I believe. This, it's just a burst of just goodness. This was really good. So if you are able to make it, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.